Oh, we're here. Hey, Steph.
What's going on, Jared?
Nothing much. I'm excited. It's Football Thursday. Quick, let's get to small talk right away. Steph, Ohio State survived the wildest game of the weekend.
Oh, I knew we were going to bring this up.
You're an Ohio State fan. Tell me 3 reasons why your team is so lucky and why they're not winning the championship.
Lucky. Well, you heard Ryan Day. They are tough. They are tough. They are tough. Best wide receiver core that is in America right now. Thank you, Brian Hartline. Our defense is back. They are reloaded. That's been a struggle in recent years. And we have, I don't know why everyone's like bagging on Kyle McCord, but he's a pretty good quarterback. He's fully capable. We have great coordinators, great weapons, and a great head coach. He will go after Lou
All right,
and he can trash talk.
He's no Deion Sanders or not. I was like, they have a big game this weekend against the USC Trojans. Deion went on record saying it'd be the most celebrities ever at a college game. I don't know who's all going to be there, but if there was a rough list off your head, who wouldn't surprise you being at the Colorado Buffalo Stadium this week?
Okay, first and foremost, they are coming off of a double overtime game they should have won. They were favored by 24. Then they have a major loss. First and foremost, celebrities should not be going to that game. But I have heard rumors about DJ Khaled, Will Ferrell, Snoop Dogg, who's like my absolute favorite. Snoop Dogg's always at the Super Bowl, and it's like my favorite part about the Super Bowl. He is hysterical.
Okay.
So that would be like my number one. Snoop Dogg would be the best.
I heard they're going to have hologram Tupac there, but we got to start the show. I see the people are in the chat, guys. I hear a couple people seeing my name. Looks like a lot of people are here for information from you, Steph, and they want to know who's the good pick. And obviously, this is PrizePicks stream, so they're going to look for free entries if they can. But let's get to the show. Welcome, everybody, to Cheat Sheet, your weekly last stop before you lock. I'm doing great. My name is Jared Quay, and I'm here with Stephanie Otey. Steph, are you all good today?
I am all good today. My co-host is great, and I was having so much technical issues before this, guys, but he's a real one, and he was like my father figure in this moment. I needed you, Jared, and you came through.
Woo, I love it. This show's going to be popping, guys. I don't know if I see the chat knows it. We got T Grizzley on the show. That's right, first day out. It won't be his first day out on this show, but it will be his first time on this show. But before we get to any of that, we got to recap last week, Steph, with more or less. This is my favorite segment. You ready? You ready for more or less?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. More or less team celebrations in the NFL. This is going crazy, right, Steph?
This absolutely, we can never get enough of them. I knew we would get a Miami Dolphins flip. They were planning which celebrations they would do while they were in the huddle. Like they were up so big. They were Tyreek Hill was like, "Which one can we do? The one we practiced earlier?" Like they were literally kept scoring. They couldn't get enough celebrations in.
I mean, they scored 70 points. That means they had to do literally 10 celebrations. At this point, they got a special teams coach and a celebration choreographer. Like they got to put them on payroll.
Yeah, right. I like that. Can you collab with your team?
More or less ridiculous catches. Did you see some of the catches this week?
Oh, everyone loves a one-hander. Mike Evans, that was unreal. I love these crazy catches. Give me more and more. We talk about them for years and years and years. They're epic. They're epic.
This is definitely like that catch from Florida is probably the best thing to Odell Beckham. In fact, it's better than Odell. He just won't have the career Odell's having. But as what I'd like to state, you can't have an amazing catch without a terrible quarterback throwing a bad ball, all right? So if you got a good quarterback, you got Caleb Williams, you can't get amazing circus catches because he's putting the ball on the money. All right. More or less, and this has been on the tabloids all over, okay? Travis Kelce touchdown dances over Taylor Swift music. Check this out, all right?
Oh, gosh. I'm cringing already. No, give me less of this. I'm tired of hearing of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. In fact, I want to get Jackson Mahomes back in this mix. Give me Brittany Mahomes. They are actually more entertaining than this cringe fest. It's so, I'm over it.
I don't know. I mean,
to learn football. Ugh.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Travis Kelce's never off beat. Look at this. You can put this to anything like children music. Look at the swag. I'm a fan of it.
He's funny. It's always tight ends. You notice that? Like George Kittle, Gronk, they all have that personality. You know.
I mean, he's making me like Taylor Swift music more. I'm learning all kinds. Look what you made me do. All right. Next one. More or less Jimbo Fisher on the field during plays. Do you see
Yes.
this?
Yes. Absolutely. Anything that Jimbo Fisher does. It's so funny. I gotta see this. Did you know that they have coaches? Like we've seen it with Sean McVay. They have specified coaches on the sideline to make sure coaches get out of the way when referees are coming. Because
The
they're
backup off the
in the
line coach.
zone.
I want to lean into this. I think we should have more regular guys on the field. Like we got referees, they got a job. I think they should just give an advance ticket away to one guy to just stand on the 50-yard line with a beer and enjoy the best view of the game.
Oh yes, like get a fan to just be in the end zone, like party of one, just like celebrate
Yeah.
the team. I'm in favor of this. Like have a
Yeah,
selfie stick the whole time. I would
we need
love
the
that.
Jimbo Fisher on the field position. Okay. And
Radio.
lastly, more or less sailgating. That's right. The University of Washington had a sailgate. Everybody bring their boats and they drank on their boats and their yachts, their TVs. Do you like this? Are we feeling this or no?
We need more boats out there. I've actually done this before in Knoxville for the Tennessee Florida game last year. It was so fun. They were like grilling out gators for the Florida Gators. I like this. It's if you've ever been to Chicago, the Playpen where they just anchor up and everybody parties there. But tailgating, love that. Ooh, what a vibe. Only in certain
I
places.
mean, this is like the richest, snobbiest thing. Like this is for like the top echelon. Like
It can
you'll
be
never
pretty
get this
redneck
at.
too. No, it can be pretty redneck. You can have like a little fisherman boat. Like anybody can. Like there's rafts out there. It's not anybody can sailgate. It does sound a little bougie over here, but the one I went
If
to
I don't
in
see
Tennessee was a little wilder.
if I don't see at least 3 people get drunk and have some kind of major fell off a boat video,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
you got
want
to
it.
be
All
jumping
right.
in the water. Jump in the water every time there's a touchdown.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not a fan of tailgating, but that's been our more or less for the week, Steph.
Wait,
Obviously,
we need to pause there for a sec. You're not a fan of tailgating?
I didn't even know about tailgating. I used to play football at University of Miami. I didn't find out what was going on outside of the stadium until I graduated. I came back to a game and I was like, holy crap.
Really, this breaks my heart. Like, yes, when I got into reporting, I had to miss tailgating. Growing up in Columbus, Ohio, we would camp out at 6 a.m. Jared, I am so sad that to hear that you don't like tailgating.
Who's part of this?
Wow.
We look at the chat is with me. They want T Grizzly. He's coming
Yeah.
on later, folks. T Grizzly's a busy man. He has to make bars, and we are just gonna have entertain you. And obviously, chat. If you want to interact with me, I'm reading your comments. So if you guys want to roast me or do anything, I'll read you out if it's something good. We're gonna keep this show going right along, though, Steph. I want to get into superlatives for this week. Do you have a couple of superlatives for me? Let's do it. Let's
I
get
love
to
these.
it.
These are fun. Let's go.
All right, Steph. For week 4 of the NFL, who is the troublemaker?
Ooh, well, there's a lot of trouble in Chicago this season, and you can really go in any direction there. This would be their former defensive coordinator, Alan Williams, just suddenly disappears, resigns, saying he has to focus on his family and his health. And then his house gets raided by the FBI. Something is happening. Chicago's been a little hush about it. There's so much going on in Chicago. They have the worst game coming up this Sunday. Their quarterback is having issues and is speaking out, and then there's coaching controversy. This is a struggle for the Bears fan base. I am sorry for you, and I have no idea what's going on with Alan Williams, but there was the FBI raided his house.
There we go. Yeah,
Something
there
is
we go. And look, if you're in Chicago, you don't get your house raided by the FBI. You ain't really doing much. All right, I'm just saying. If you're interesting at all, you need the FBI in your house.
What on earth could it have been? I mean, they didn't. Schefter said that they didn't raid the Bears headquarters, but they raided his home.
Oh, there we go. Everybody knows you got to put their illegal stuff at the headquarters. That's what you do.
Yeah.
All right, Steph. Who's the heartbreaker for week 4?
Okay, well, this is kind of a spinoff of that last one. Well, the saddest game to come about. They're saying it's going to be the worst football game in NFL history. People are petitioning for it to be at 3 a.m. on Friday night. Broncos Bears. This is a tragic matchup. In fact, it's the first time in NFL history that two teams have combined for 110 plus allowed points and 1,100 or more allowed yards from the week prior and facing off all in one week. This is awful. The Bears are also on a 13-game losing streak. They have not won a game since October 2022. I mean, this is bad.
Wow.
We saw the Broncos give up 70 points. We saw that at the top of the show. The celebrations were crazy. They lost by 50. This is tragedy written all over it. Heartbreaker.
Is it weird the combination? I mean, obviously one's gonna win, but they both have the same colors. They both start with a B. And my question to you is, who
Bad.
would win in an actual fight, a bear or a bronco?
Bear. Bear. Although I'm honestly not too bears are supposed to be scary, but if I'm on the wild, I'd be more afraid of like a bear cat or something.
All right, chat. Who wins a fight? A baby bear, a cub, or a bronco? All right, that's for the chat. We're gonna leave that there with them.
Ooh.
All right.
Well, it depends if
All
mama's
right.
around.
Okay. Who's your dark horse for your superlative?
Well, I try to stay away from Buckeyes, but because we had an amazing game last week, and this is a dark horse of a rookie quarterback on a crappy team, CJ Stroud. I'm sorry, Bijan Robinson. I know he's your guy. No longer the favorite for the offensive rookie of the year. It's now CJ Stroud, who's moved on up. He's putting back-to-back standout performances. And through 3 games, he's completed 64.5% of his passes for 906 yards and 4 touchdowns. Oh, and not one interception yet. Plenty of veterans out there already have multiple. This rookie out of Ohio State is the now rookie favorite for offensive rookie of the year, and he's doing well on a crappy team. Props to
Why
him.
did you feel the need? Why did you feel the need to spell out Ohio State? Why did you do that, huh?
Because it stands out. And honestly, there's a little rumor about how Ohio State quarterbacks struggle in the NFL.
They do.
They do. I'll give you that. Our receivers don't, but our quarterbacks do. And I would honestly be insanely surprised if Stroud were going to be the quarterback out of Ohio State to do it. Because I had my doubts. I did not think he was NFL ready. He was shaky in the pocket. I thought he had a lot of jitters and nerves in those big games at Ohio State. And I thought he needed to get some reps in as a rookie in the NFL. But man, out of the gate, phenomenal job.
There we go. I mean, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I think it's biased. I'm telling you right now, Bijan Robinson is winning Rookie of the Year.
I'm
CJ
with
Stroud
you. I'm with
he
you.
had a great game against a terrible Jaguars team at home. Trust me, it gets worse for the Houston Texans. So I promise you, by week 11, you're gonna be like, yeah, CJ Stroud, that was a bad take, and I'm gonna clip this.
Houston Texan has ever won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And it'd be
I mean,
wild if
yes,
the Ohio State quarterback were the first to do it. So I don't
and
disagree with you, but hey, wishful thinking.
in their like 24-year career, they've had like at least 20. They had like 15 top 10 picks. So that's bad odds. You should have a Rookie of the Year with 10 top 10 picks,
I
guys.
know, honestly,
Also,
when you say it like
uh,
that.
the chat is they're in it. They like my take on the Rookie of the Year. In fact, someone's trying to give me the wingman saying, "Tell Steph hi." We're not going to get to that. All right, Steph. Next one. Who is Prince Charming? Who is Prince Charming?
Well, there's a lot we can go with these, and I try to mix it up each week. We have not had Christian McCaffrey win this award just yet, but he's on a roll. Since week 13 of last season, he scored a touchdown in 12 straight games. That includes the postseason. And with a touchdown against Arizona this coming Sunday, he'll be the first to become first of fourth player since 1990 to record a touchdown in 13 consecutive games. He also is on track for another record. He leads the NFL with 353 rushing yards entering week 4, and he's also recorded those 115 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. If he does that this week, he will have that in 3 games and can become the fourth player to do so with 114 rushing yards and a touchdown in that many games. So he's pacing for a great season, and I mean, I think this matchup will be fair for him.
I love it. I love this. It's Prince Charming. In fact, I don't want to put on the spot, but Steph, do you think he could possibly be the front runner for MVP?
Mm, Too early to tell, but I do like the idea of a running back getting it. Too early. The 49ers are honestly on a roll, though, so you're not off. You're not off. I think it could be
And
Christian McCaffrey, but I have a feeling
he's
he'll
the
go to
workhorse. Like,
running back.
but Purdy's better he's better because of Christian McCaffrey. Like, if you can hand the ball off and throw it to him, you're going to win.
Yeah, I would say if it's going to come from a 49er, I would say McCaffrey over Purdy, but
Ooh.
you consider the stuff that when it comes to that, like when they want someone who was kind of an underdog mentality. Purdy's faced a lot of doubters in his career, and McCaffrey, I think he was always kind of seen in this light. So
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was the ninth overall pick. Brock Purdy. We like a 6th-round pick. Brock Purdy for MVP. All right, and lastly, who's the most likely to forget their homework?
Well, I don't know if at his age he's getting homework, but when you're broadcasting, you should know how to pronounce the names of guys you're talking about. This is a good one.
When he gets
Terry
good.
Bradshaw.
D'Amico Ryan's the head coach of the Houston Texans. Sorry about that.
Oh boy.
I like what they're doing. I like their quarterback out.
He messed up in week 1 and then he messed up again in week 3. He even like had to get like a handout. Who's that quarterback from Cincinnati? He knew Desmond Ridder played at Cincinnati, but didn't know his name. And he's like, once he's good, I'll remember his name. So that word, forgetting your homework, is Terry Bradshaw, forgetting the names of guys he's talking about.
I second that. As a Falcon fan, I'm like, yo, his name is Desmond Ryder until he can make some. We need to win some games, and then he gets back to Ridder. Desmond Ryder more than.
He turned 75 earlier this month. Like, honestly, my heart goes out to him. He's kind of got the same humor as Charles Barkley, who I absolutely love. So I'm honestly like, if I had to take more or less on this, I would take more. I think it's funny. It's good material. Let the old guy talk. It's like Lee Corso when he's broadcast. Let him talk.
I love it. Also, you just said he's 75, and you see the picture of his headshot. That's definitely 63. Like that's a 2-year-old headshot right there.
I mean, do you really have to replace your headshot after 65? I hope to God I don't have to.
Every year. All right, let's keep things going. We're doing so well. All right, Steph, this is my favorite game. It's time for The Pick is Right. It's like a play on the prices, right? All right, I'm going to give you some players, and you're going to have to guess their projection, okay? All right, let's get to it. All right, the first one is Derrick Henry's rushing yards.
Okay, so we have. Is this all going to be rushing or no? Calvin really receiving.
No, we gotta have some fun.
Derrick Henry. They're playing the Bengals. Hasn't been doing so great as of now. On a bad game, I would probably have him in low 60s. So I'd probably put him at mid 60s for this. Let me confer with the chat. Phone a friend.
All right.
They're doing. I feel it because it's Derrick Henry. I'd go. I'll do 66.5, but I would say a mid 60s. I would do 65, but I'll say 66.5.
This is a guy that rushed for 2,000 yards just like 2 seasons ago, guys. Like, I don't know why people think he's not going to run. I mean, he's getting older, and running backs seem not to matter. Are you ready? The correct answer is 67.5 rushing yards,
okay.
more or less.
All right,
You're right on it. You think that? Which one would you lean more or less on that?
I would say more. Since he's run, they're playing Cincinnati this week, and their run defense hasn't been so great. So I'll say more at 67.5.
I mean, trust me, my fantasy team needs him to go for more than that. All right, the next one is Daniel Jones receiving yards. More. What do you think? Do you think come on down, Stephanie Otey. What do you think the projection is for Daniel Jones's passing yards?
Passing yards. Let's see. Okay. Oh, well, I would say like in mid. I'm starting off at 250. He hasn't been great, so 240.
240.
I would take less. That honestly, if it was at 240, I would take less. But I would say 240. I don't think it's exactly 250, but 240.
All right. The actual projection is 217.5.
270. Oh boy.
I mean, yeah, that team's offense. He doesn't have much time to throw the ball, so I would imagine it couldn't be too high.
That's still so
all right.
Jeez.
All right, and then last but not least, we got Calvin Ridley's receiving yards.
I love him. Receiving yards. It's Trevor Lawrence. I want to say like 70. Honestly, I'd probably say 70. 70 sounds safe. If I have to do a hook, 69.5.
How are you so close to this? Are you cheating?
What is it? Did I nail it on the dot in the head?
No, it's 66.5. But that's really to be within 5 yards of a projection.
Kind of a marker. 70's like For receivers, I would say it starts at 60 to 70, unless it's lower.
Yeah.
So that's the
if we-
basis for quarterback. I would start like a tier
If-
2. I would do 250, but Derrick Henry has been struggling. I'm honestly kind of surprised that Derrick Henry is projected to have slightly more rushing yards than Ridley's receiving. That's very surprising to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, Derrick Henry is like the workhorse back, but if that team gets down, he doesn't get the ball anymore. So yeah, I would have been terrible on these, Steph. I would have been like Derrick Henry 100, Daniel Jones 147 yards, and Calvin Ridley 210 receiving yards. So
quite frankly, I don't think a running back's rushing yards will ever start out at 100. Like there's like markers that I would gauge it at. Like honestly, 30 to 60 would be what I would assume. Bijan was like in 30s because he was a rookie, but it's Derrick Henry, so I would say it would have been at like 70. So there's like markers that I have. 250s where I start a quarterback at, and he goes up or down. So there's a strategy to it. There's a strategy to it.
Okay. All right. Well, that was good. Well, this is going to lead us to our next segment, which is bounce back players, which we're going to talk about 2 players we just talked about. Our bounce back players are Derrick Henry, who only had 20 yards last game. I don't know if that's his lowest ever, but that was a terrible performance for Derrick Henry. Yeah, and he's currently at 67.5. He's going against the Bengals, as you talked about. What do you think is going to happen with Derrick Henry?
I'm really surprised to hear that he only had 20, but his projections now. Well, wait. So was his projection 60? What is his projection? It says 78.5. Okay.
Oh,
so the pick right was at 60. Well, I don't know. Like he has had a team high 163 rushing yards. That's 54.3 per game. That's what he's averaging. He's got 1 touchdown. I still think that we did hear that he didn't practice today. We don't know exactly why. It's undisclosed, but he struggled last week, as you said, with 20 rushing yards, and that was without an injury. That makes me concerned heading into this game that he's coming off a bad week. We don't know why he didn't practice today. Today would be Thursday. Game day is just a few days away, and coming off of struggles, coming off of no practice. I don't know. Looking at their opponent, though, the Bengals, their run defense has been a bit of a storyline this season. They still rank for 31st. That's tied with Pittsburgh in the run defense. They have yielded 151.7 yards per game. So this could be a spot for him to get back on track, but I do want to hear more about what was the deal at practice today. Maybe it was something injury related, but who knows? He did have a bad game last week. So honestly, I would stand by with that one and wait to hear more out of Titans camp.
All right. I hope he bounces back for the sake of the state of Tennessee. Tennessee needs Derrick Henry to get more yards. Yeah.
Yeah, Nashville. I would love to have some great football, but no.
Yeah. Every team in Tennessee from college on down is just struggling. Derrick Henry, put the state on your back. All right. The next one is Daniel Jones in that offense that I can't even watch. It makes my eyes bleed. The New York Giants offense. Do you think he bounces back? Last week, he only had 137 passing yards, and they got blown out. Like he was throwing the ball.
Yeah, I mean, they play Seattle this week. Looking at his numbers through 3 weeks, he's currently on pace for 136 rush attempts and over 600 yards. That's for Saquon Barkley, but they may not have him. So if he doesn't have his number one weapon, like the guy that you want to give the ball to, that you're kind of screwed. Then you look at who he can pass to. Against Seattle, I don't know. I haven't been a fan of Daniel Jones, so I don't see it. And I don't see it against Seattle even. So I would say I think there's more upside with Derrick Henry bouncing back, and this week in particular, pending potential injury or whatever that happened at practice, than I have high hopes for Daniel Jones. It doesn't seem as great.
He goes under my theory of once a person gets paid, they do not play well. Okay, $40 million is a lot of money to spend. When he was poor, he had to. Yeah, I mean, Mahomes is different. He has money in Kansas City.
Outlier for sure.
You can't spend $500 million in Kansas City, but Daniel Jones is in New York. Like honestly, his amount of money is the perfect amount of money to be like kind of a celebrity, right? Like so, as long as he has $40 million a year, he's not gonna play good. But if you get him back on like a small deal, he's gonna have much more time to be in the playbook, and he's gonna work with his teammates a little bit more. That's just my personal theory. All right.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle's not one of the best defenses, so both of these guys are in spots where they could bounce back, but I have more faith in Derrick Henry than I do Daniel Jones.
Okay. I mean, honestly, I hope both these teams bounce back. The Giants went to the playoffs last year. Like, people forget this was a playoff team last year. They didn't really lose anything. So, like, will they turn it on? It's early in the year. It's 3 games in. Obviously, remember those years when since the Chiefs would be like 1-6 and then win 10 straight games? I mean, the Bengals do that every year. So which one of these teams you think bounces back and maybe goes to the playoffs? The Titans or the Giants?
My heart says Titans. My brain says Giants. But I will say, like, after the Cowboys this past weekend, how much worse does that blowout loss in week 1 look for the Giants? Like that, like,
I mean,
the Dallas did Dallas things by getting our hopes up and then crashing and burning. But when you look at that game this past Sunday, and then you compare it to, like, okay, the Giants were blown out by that team in historical fashion. That makes me nervous.
yeah, I mean, well, they had Trayvon Diggs, and I feel like at this point, seeing how they played when he got hurt, he deserves an MVP nod. I just said that. Do you think he gets the credit? I feel like people don't give DBs that credit. Stephon Gilmore, obviously, I think is still one of the best corners in the NFL. People give age too much knock. My brother's 47 years old. He's still playing great. But I think when Diggs went out, that really hurt that team.
I honestly have said this many times. I know lots of guys that coach. I think cornerback is probably the hardest position. I mean, you're following a receiver. Receiver is very hard to do, but you're tailing them. You're basically, that's why you see oftentimes a cornerback also can be a wide receiver at times. Like, it's a very skilled position. Obviously, we know quarterback's the hardest on the field, but cornerback is very hard to do. But the most underrated play, we're going off topic now, but the players on the field that don't get enough credit is obviously the O-line and center.
Yeah, there we go. Well, look, we have fun talking about bounce back players. We're going to get T Grizzley on here. Everybody wants to know where's T, where's Grizzley. They think he's about to spit a freestyle, but we're not going to get to him before we get to this commercial break, guys. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Boom, and just like that, we're back, guys, after my funny commercial. We're back with none other than T Grizzley, man, the first day out rapper. His first time on the show, really is his second, but the first time on this show. T, what's happening, baby?
Man, what's going on? I appreciate y'all for having me. What up, though?
Man, nothing much. You shining over there, bro. You look like you greened out on a pick 6 right now, bro.
Man, I'm trying to, man. You know what's so crazy though? You know what's so crazy, right?
But
So whenever I miss, it always be by 0.5 every time.
Oh,
0.5.
the hook will get you.
0.5.
Is there a projection that you took that really stands out? Like, it sounds like you're speaking from one that really burned you. Is there one game in particular that really, really knocked you off?
So one game in particular that stand out for me, and it didn't necessarily knock me off. This was like when I finally struck gold, right? I had took the unders on the Las Vegas game that just played, and I had took Josh Jacobs under, and I had took the quarterback rushing yards under, right?
Yeah.
So
Unders,
what happened was I won by 0.5 this time. Like
you won. You got it this time.
I won this time by 0.5, and I feel like I felt good in my spirit because I feel like that was a little bit of revenge for the 0.5 that I've been losing by.
Take the less? Because most people are on the more. They like to sweat it out all game long, because once they blow more than the projection, you're kind of screwed if you took less.
Yeah,
but
less than a whole game. It's a whole game sweat.
Yeah. So what I did was, so I had made a projection on the fourth quarter, right? I put a slip in, made a projection for the fourth quarter. I saw what was going on. I really watched the game and studied this game this day. So
respect that.
I felt it. I really felt it, you know?
Oh.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. Every time for every less than that hits, there's a more than that just got it. So, like, you understand, there's a bad side of every time. So it's good to see you on the winning side of +5. But, like, I tell you, I've been on the other end too, so it sucks. But seeing that you've been doing your research, I do want to get into it right away. Can we get into let him cook?
Let's do it.
This is how the game works. This is how the game works, Grizz. You sent us some projections. I'm going to mention them, and we're going to let the chat decide whether they like you and you cooking. or whether or not they want you to get more information on why. All right. So the first one
Okay,
on Let
bet.
Them Cook is you got Jordan Love more than 16 and a half rushing yards. All right. Can you give me a little reasoning
Mhm.
why you chose that? Is there any backstory? And then we'll let the audience decide if they want to cook with you.
So for one, Jason Love, he already hit over this number twice. You feel me? And through 3 games, he had over 74 yards. You know, like he's on one right now. So they gonna let him rock. They gonna show him some love. You feel me?
If you got a last name like Love, you want it more than because you want to love. You don't want to hate love. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
All right,
And
audience.
then like the Lions, the one thing about the Lions, they like to run coverage too. So that
Going
favor
above for
him going
Jordan
past the
Love.
line of scrimmage. Yeah.
There we go. And you kind of at this point because you're a Lions fan originally. We'll get into that. We'll talk about let the chat put the poll up and see if the chat is letting them cook. If you guys like the more than 16 and a half rushing yards with T Grizzly, go ahead and put it in the chat so we can see if he's cooking or not. But
Rock with
yeah,
me, chat.
you're
I'm
a
telling
Lions
y'all,
fan.
chat. Rock with me, chat.
You winning, man.
Go
Look at that,
above for
man.
Jordan Love. Did you see that
Yeah.
rhyme I just did there? How are those rhyming
Mm-hmm.
skills? Go
There we
above
go.
for Jordan Love.
Let Steph get a feature. Let Steph get a feature on the next track, T.
Let's do it. I'm gonna send you the session.
I do have a
Uh,
freestyle for you if you want to
Yeah.
hear it. You ready?
I definitely would love to hear it.
Here on Cheat Sheet with T Grizzly, giving us out his Thursday night picks for free. We know he's rolling with the Lions, so tell us, T, which squares are you buying?
ooh, that's off the top too.
Oh, yeah. Bar, stop playing word.
Was that pretty good? Was that pretty good?
You know, that was
Uh,
pretty dope. That was pretty dope. You gonna get us
I
out the
literally
hood.
came up with it in the commercial break. I was like, if he freestyle. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, yeah, you got it.
there we go. All right. So Grizz, the chat is not agreeing with that one, but I'm overriding that. We're gonna keep letting you cook. All right. You
Yeah,
the
you gotta
chef, you
keep
know
going.
what
You
you're
gotta keep
doing.
going.
And this you're a Lions fan choosing Packer players. So let's see what else you got, man. What else you got on the slip for us? It looks like the next one you got is Luke Musgrave, more than
Luke
37
Musgrave.
and a half receiving yards. More than
Luke
37 and a half
Musgrave,
receiving yards.
he broke 35.5 receiving yards in 2 of his 3 games. Like I really been studying this. You feel me?
Hey.
I literally been studying this. No team in the NFL giving up more yards to tight ends than the Lions.
Facts. I had that in my notes too. Wow, look at him
Yeah.
doing his
Also,
homework.
also, right? Because by me being from Detroit, I know what's going on with the Vikings, the Lions, and the Packers. You know, like we all are like rivals a little bit. You got the Skull, the Cheese,
Yeah.
and the Lions. Now, the Lions are the reason that Green Bay didn't go all the way last year. So now they back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Mm.
The
You ain't
Lions
lying
are
that
back
last
with, I
game,
mean,
yeah.
Green Bay back with a vengeance. But this is a different Lions team though. This Lions team is hungry. They blue ski masked up out there. They ready.
Are
They
you a
just beat
little
my
nervous
Falcons,
with
man.
Aaron Jones and Christian Watson getting back in there? I mean, I don't think it'll have a huge effect on how many yards that Musgrave will get, but
Mm-hmm.
taking that in,
Now,
did that? I mean, they're back in for this week, which will be big for their offense.
see them tight ends be coming through so clutch. I wish it was more tight end picks that we can make projections on because them tight ends really be the ones.
He's been listening to some Taylor Swift. That's why he's loving tight ends right now. That's what it is.
They really be the ones that
Look
go
at
get the
that.
ball for sure.
There we
Tight,
go.
tight
All
ends are
right.
winning. Tight ends are winning
All right.
lately.
Yeah.
And then the last of the let him cook. You went with a combo on them, right? That's right for Michigan. You got to do combos, baby. Sam Laporta, who's been balling, or
Mhm.
Jahmyr Gibbs, more than a touchdown. I like that. More than a rushing or receiving touchdown. Can you explain why? Obviously, I think I like it. I know why, but can you just give the people a little more explanation?
Yeah, so first of all, Laporta can get that by himself, right?
He
But the
probably will.
combo
He
is
probably
just
will.
extra insurance. Like, if I don't, then you got a chance to get it. So you got 2 people working towards one goal versus one person. I love a good combo. You got 2 people working toward one goal versus one person. So if something happened with the one person, then the other person can do it. And like I said, Porter can get it by himself.
And there are
There we
only
go.
4 teams that have allowed more rushing yards than the Packers. So that's a good indicator.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a short week, which I think will help. Obviously, Laporta's that's the person we got to worry about for rookie of the year right there. So I'm
For
rocking with you,
sure.
man. And
Listen, I promise
as
you.
Steph, go ahead.
I
Now
promise
you said
you.
I
Just get in
promise
the
you. You got
car.
to finish it. Yeah.
Look, I promise you. Just get in the car with me. We going to the promised land.
There we go. If you're watching this, go ahead and do that pick 3 right there, and then we're gonna green out. We're gonna listen the first day out like it's the first time it came out right now.
Facts.
Awesome, man. You see that they just traded Dame to the right up the street from you, man. They traded Dame, and I know he's a rapper. Dame Dollar's a rapper. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
is there any athlete artists that you wouldn't mind putting a feature on their verse? Like, would you be on any like if Kirk Cousins dropped a rap album and was like, "Yo, I'll pay your feature. Would you want to get on it? Would you do it?"
Yeah, I do that. But don't even pay me. I just need season tickets. I just need season tickets. And I want all the perks. I want to travel with the team to the away games. You feel me? And I'm cool.
You hear that? I'm gonna clip this part and send it to Kirk. Like, hey Kirk, we gotta drop a rap album. We're gonna put T Grizzly on it. It's gonna be a hitter.
That honestly sounds like a good deal. Like,
Yeah, we
don't
gonna
even pay
score.
me. Just let me ride with you this whole season.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. I like it, man. Well, the game tonight, man. Obviously, you're a Lions fan. The hype has never been higher. This is a team that literally can't get a playoff win. The team's been cursed with what people say. Right now, they're 3-0. They've beaten some good teams at the time. Actually, I think they lost to the Seahawks. They're 2-1. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, this is a solid squad. What are the expectations for the Lions? And being from Michigan, are you a fan of the Lions? So, are you ready to do the anthem for them if they get to the playoffs and go on that run?
Absolutely. I'm a fan of the Lions despite all the heartbreak. You know? I mean, like we got house shoes around here, you know? But the thing
Hey.
is, but the thing is,
Let's go.
if the Lions, I think they're gonna win the Super Bowl this year.
Ooh, hot take.
Were you one of the Lions fans that was rooting for Stafford with the Rams in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, even though he's on the Rams, he's still an honorary Lions player.
See, it'd be tough to watch your guy when it was someone else, but I think the Lions just wanted something to root for, so they went all in on Stafford that Super Bowl.
Facts. We still look at him like he with the Lions.
Yeah, I get that.
I
Mm-hmm.
get you. Well, then here, how about this? Let's time capsule this because obviously, if the Lions do go to the championship, we're gonna play like we had T Grizzly on in week 4. Told us what's gonna happen. So, what's your Super Bowl projection, man? Give us the T
It's like the
Grizzly Super Bowl
Simpsons.
projection right now.
Super Bowl projection is gonna be Lions versus the
Boom, out
Eagles.
the NFC. I know they're gonna be in the NFC Championship, and then we got the AFC team. Who coming out the AFC? The Chiefs, the Bengals, the Bills, the Dolphins. Who you like on the AFC?
Ooh, the Dolphins. The Dolphins turned right now. The Dolphins
Boy,
turned
that's
right
gonna be the
now.
highest scoring. That'll be the highest scoring Super Bowl of all time.
Yeah, facts. It's gonna be like what's that number on that jersey over there? The red one, 32?
Yep, that's 32. That's my jersey when I was on the Cardinals. Everybody look at that. That's me when I was on the Cardinals. It didn't last long, but that's my jersey right there. And that's Big Bro's
That,
jersey
that
right here on this side. Players.
that's what's Big Bro jersey number 93?
93. That's gonna be the score of the game. Don't tell me that's gonna be the score of the
That's gonna be the score of the
game.
game. 93-32 Lions.
Yo, if that
That
happens,
is
bro,
a
you go get it.
bold prediction.
Hey, you going
And listen,
viral for this clip if that happens.
the only reason the score gonna be that high because they're gonna go to triple overtime.
Do you have that much faith in
Okay.
Jared Goff?
Huh?
Do you have a lot of faith in Jared Goff?
Uh,
I do.
Hey man, at this
Yeah.
point, hey, Greg, if they win, I'm hopping on the track with you and Kirk Cousins, man, because that ain't gonna happen, bro.
Why you ain't got no faith in the
Nah, I
Lions?
rock
See,
with it.
that's doubters.
I mean, yeah, it's history, I guess. At some point, you gotta realize the Lions are gonna lion, bro.
You do have a
But look,
question in
this
the
the
chat.
different.
They want to know who's your favorite player.
Who my favorite player right now?
Mhm.
Who's my favorite player right now? Oh,
They didn't
you know
specify.
what? Who haven't let me down yet?
Mm.
McCaffrey.
Ooh, there
Yep.
we go.
Yep.
Prince.
He's been riding well. I mean, he's got a touchdown in He's like on record breaking pace right now. Is that a guy that you've been taking all season long? Do you take his squares a lot?
Yeah.
That was Fields for me last year, and look where it got me
greened
now.
out. McCaffrey's gonna definitely green
McCaffrey.
out.
Mm-hmm.
T, what can we expect? What we got coming up, man? We got anything we can promote, man? What we got What we working on? We in the kitchen cooking on some music or what?
We definitely in the kitchen cooking, man. We definitely in the kitchen cooking for sure. And I'm thinking about dropping the album early November.
Ooh, is all right there. I hope that ain't a breaking news right there, y'all. If you in the chat, we're getting it.
Y'all really the first to hear it though, too.
What? Oh, snap it. Hey, can we get a Kirk Cousins features on it? Can we get a Kirk Cousins feature on it, man? Let's see if we can get with the gold chains in the music video or something.
That would be amazing.
That'd be crazy for sure.
Do you have
y'all heard it here right here?
Yet? Can you give us a clue on the album name, or are you still thinking about it?
I'm still thinking about it. I'm debating between like 3 different names because I want to feel like home, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the Lions might win the championship if you drop an album, though. That's the perfect time right there. The city need an anthem, so I'll guarantee it. T, man, I appreciate you coming on here and rocking with us, man. Really hoping that the Lions get this dub tonight. And just projection-wise for the game, you think they get the dub tonight against the Packers? Are we taking them winning?
I think they get a dub tonight. I think it's tied up, and then they kick a field goal to win the game.
There we go. All right.
Last time they played.
Hey, if that prediction comes true, I'm putting money on 93-32 on the championship. All right, that's because you a psychic, baby. You a psychic.
That's final score.
There we go. It ain't no guess. That's what it's gonna be.
Total is a lot, but all right.
T, man, I appreciate you coming on. Oh, you ain't lying. The Dolphins scored 70 points. They had a touchdown dance for almost every touchdown too, man. How do you feel about them celebrations? They literally are they gonna have to literally come up with like a choreographer to help them with their dances as much as they scoring.
Facts. I'm gonna get my choreographer over there to the Lions. So when Super Bowl come, they already got their routines ready.
We do have to ask you though.
T, don't do that. T, you don't got no choreographer. You don't dance.
I just started dancing like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you got moves? We talking about like Usher, or we talking about like Pop Smoke or Usher? Which one we talking? What kind of moves we talking?
Like half and half of what you mentioned. Like half and half.
Oh,
I think we might have to see a little bit.
If I go to a T Grizzly concert and see you whip out the moonwalk, bro, it's game over. T Grizzly do the moonwalk, it's game over, bro. Artist of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any way we could see a little dance move there? Do you have a signature dance move, or like if you were to get a touchdown, what would your move be?
The dance move I'm learning right now, they told me not to do it because I'm doing it in the video, and when the video drop, it's gonna shock the world. My dance move.
It's gonna go viral, like on TikTok. Yo. Your song will be everywhere.
It's gonna shock the world.
It's not bad marketing, but we're gonna have this clip teed up, and then we're gonna play that clip, and then we're gonna have. We'll put it together. This clip here, and then when you have it come out.
Bro, I'm all on board with this. I can't wait for your music videos to be like the next Michael Jackson. We need to beat it. We need the thriller. We need to remember the time. T Grizzly is now officially cutting rug on these streets, bro. Look,
cutting the rug.
T Grizzly, really fast though. Would you have any interest in going to a Colorado game to see Coach Prime? Celebs are going. Is that someplace you want to be? It's the hot spot these days.
I would definitely be down to do that for sure. I would definitely be down to do that.
To see Coach Prime.
There we go.
To just feel that energy, because the energy is to see Coach Prime too, though, because Coach Prime, that is like a legend, and I would love to meet him. But the energy right now is insane. So I would love to go out there and feel the energy for sure.
Do you think that the media attention should be back on Coach Prime instead of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce? Are you in that camp? Because I am.
I'm a Swiftie, so.
Oh wow!
Hey, look what you made him do. Look what you made him do.
I would love to see a T Grizzly Taylor Swift collab. Oh my gosh!
I would love to see that too. I would love to see that too. I'm definitely a Swiftie though.
It gave me like Old Town Road vibes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, look
Yeah.
at it, T. I appreciate you coming on here, man. I hope that you weren't trolling us the whole time with the Super Bowl and dance moves. But if the video comes out and I see you cha-chaing, I promise you, I'm gonna literally hit you up on IG. Thank you for coming on. T is definitely pick his pick 3 guys. I feel like he's going green out for sure. And the Lions winning by 3, bro. He's a psych it. T, take care. We can't wait for the album, brother.
Appreciate y'all, man. Have a good one.
Thank you so much.
Please. Yeah, that was awesome.
He is great. He's so fun.
There we go. And it was shining. I was like, dang, that diamond had to be a house. That was that was the mortgage for my house sitting around his neck. I need to ask you.
I was going to say, it's like, what's the more or less on him driving while on the show? But I know because of last week, we fully prepped and said, no one's taking the call from the car.
Yeah, I know. Well, we made sure we had that.
Well,
Steph, the game is less than 2 hours away. People got to get to it so they can put these entries in, guys. I know you're hitting us up for free entries, guys. We don't have one today, but keep watching the show, and we'll see what happens when we get more people in traction with that. Steph, I can't wait for this weekend. Hopefully, Ohio State finally takes the L because they're more than due.
You can't lose a bye week, Jared. You can't lose a bye week. Ooh, ooh.
I mean, they may lose a couple players. This is Ohio State we're talking about.
We do have
Steph, I can't wait to. We're going to see you guys next week, and please tune in. Obviously, go to Discord tomorrow for Flex Friday. You guys have been great, Steph. You've been great. Let's get ready for some football.